Hey guys, this is Nick here with Spark Gap Garage. Today is kind of a really different kind of video. We're not working on any cars, we're not doing anything in the main shop in the garage. We're still kind of getting that together. But this is kind of to help the process along to get the shop up, cleaned out and going. So as you can see right back here, I got a bunch of brush, pile of wood, brush, got my chainsaw out there. I'm actually going to be building a shed, which is going to be different. So you can buy a kit, you can buy plans, this and that, but I wanted to do something a little different. I wanted to try, or I'm trying to build this shed not only for storage, but to basically as free or low cost as possible. So that's kind of the goal behind all this. So right here on my deck, I have roughly 15 to 18 pallets, and then in the front of my house I have more pallets. So you can kind of see where this theme is going. Free material, and this is gonna be kind of fun because, like I said, the goal is as close to free as possible. Now, kind of already know roughly where I'm gonna have to spend some money. Obviously siding, roofing, and then later down the line, I'd like to order or install some windows, you know, ventilation and stuff like that. But the goal behind this shed is clean out the shop, the garage shop, get the shed kind of full of all that stuff till I can go through it, parts, all that good stuff, and then get the race car into the garage in preparation for this off-season maintenance and stuff like that. So stick around, guys, and let's get to it. So I am right up to the area where I'd like to build this shed, and as you can tell, there's a ditch here. This is a city drain ditch that we are not allowed to build anything in, dig in, or whatever. So another theme or plan, since I'm not allowed to dig into the property, I am going to, because of the ditch, I'm actually going to make a free floating shed. Now the weight of the shed should be enough to keep it stable, hold down, and all that good stuff. Plus you got the tree line here to block any winds, strong winds from, you know, tipping over the shed. So right now the plan is finish clearing up this brush. I already started this about 3 months ago, clearing out all this brush. There's a backstory on it. We were gonna put a vinyl fence up, but the city said no. So, all right, whatever, that's fine. So kind of following the rules here. I got my property line. I know where this is. It's pretty much right at this tree line here. All this small brush is on my property, so that's going to be cleared up. I got my tool, the almighty chainsaw. You can kind of see I already started clearing out this. This is all full of like poison ivy, poison oak, this obnoxiously fast growing tree stuff, which is all that wood. Yeah, so that's pretty much going to be a lot of this video, I shouldn't say a lot of this video. The first couple minutes of this video is me clearing up this. I'm probably not going to film it just because it's annoying and boring, but I'll bring you back when I get all this cleared up, and I'll go through some dimensions and rough ideas. So all right, guys. All right, guys, so basic safety guidelines for working with a chainsaw. Obviously you need safety glasses. You can take it up a step with a face mask, gloves, but I don't have any of those right now to my disposal. So safety glasses it is, and I always wear steel toe boots and jeans when I work with a chainsaw. So the plan is I'm going to clear out all this brush here right in front of us, and then we'll actually get to clearing up the ground in preparation for kind of laying out a rough foundation for the shed. So So this is the tricky part, getting all these level, making sure my cross beams, the base flooring, skeleton and all that stuff for the shed is good to go and level, because I don't want a teeter-totter, rickety, roll-a-ball, and it rolls kind of flooring. I want it nice, even level, and that's the right way to do it. So we're gonna go ahead and start flying them out, and then I got my antique, old school, older than I am, back when the Wright brothers were alive. I'm just kidding, it's not that old, but this is older than I. It's a level, and this is gonna be our best friend right here for doing so. We're gonna make sure these are nice and flat, and then we'll get to the footings and actually build the floor for the shed. Now the right thing to do is actually put gravel down, crushed gravel or something like that, but I don't really have that at my disposal, so I'm gonna make the ground underneath nice and level. This is pretty hard ground. The area we live in, if you dig down about 3-4 inches, you start to get into some rocks because of how low to the river level we are here. So that's pretty much the plan. I'm not gonna dig down too far, and we're gonna get all these leveled out and continue on. Check this guy. Yep. That's definitely not crooked at all. But we'll check it. Hey, there we go. So this one right here is perfectly level, flat, which is what I'm going for. Now over time, these will sag down and sink, but like I said, that's where the rock and stuff that's already naturally in the ground will come into play, because it'll harden up. So now I'm going to do the next 3 and continue on. Okay, so now that each footprint cement circle make it happener is flat, now we're going to get into the actual feet of the shed. Now this shed is going to be a free floating, which means there's going to be, it's not going to touch the ground other than the feet due to city code and stuff like that. So kind of game plan, I'm sure you can see the little arch here with the dirt. I'm not going to dig down at all because it's just going to be too much work. So the plan is each leg, I'm going to cut probably about a 2-foot section of this board that I have. It's like a 4x4. And that's going to be the start of the leg. And then from there, the cross beams and stuff, the outside of the skeleton will all be the same level flat. And then that way, each leg can be at their own height. And it's a little bit easier that way instead of raising up that one because it's lower than these. And it's way easier to do it that way. So that's the game plan now. I'm going to cut down a 2 to 3 foot section of these 4x4s that I have. And then I'll bring you guys back when I actually start to screw everything together, get the base ready to go, and then we can go from there. Okay guys, so kind of jumped ahead and got all of this footboard, whatever you want to call it, the base level. So all these planks going post to post are level. Posts are vertically level as well. So in theory, even though there is a nice little hump here, I went up enough off the ground that none of these posts or none of these sideboards make contact with the ground, and the floor is going to be level. So the idea behind having the boards outside here are so I have a platform to kind of help rest the pallets on. That way when I start to build them up, and then I will have beams inside the walls. That way, you know, I can anchor the pallets onto. Okay guys, so the base skeleton, whatever you want to call it here, is done. I'm probably going to do some bracing in the middle, you know, kind of help with the weight distribution, but I could stand on this stuff pretty confidently, knowing that 180 pounds, no issue, basically at the ground. So there you go. All it is 8 foot across, board to board, 8 foot, 8 foot. It's basically a square, a box. Okay guys, so today is a different day. Kind of got a little chillier out. It's next weekend, so about a week from the first couple segments. So kind of jumped ahead here and finished up the supports and stuff for these guys. 8 foot long. I got a nice 4x4 in the middle on both sides. I had to bind together two 2x4s here, so actually 4. You get it. So this is nice and sturdy. So now the next step is to use these 2x1, whatever they are, little guys. It's a shed, it's not gonna be too bad. But these are gonna actually make up the walls, the posts that the pallets will support onto. And then from there, then we can move on to doing some roofing and stuff like that, getting the trusses, joists, whatever they're called, setting the pitch of the roof, and go from there. So I'll bring you guys back once I get all of the 2x1s up and go from there. Okay guys, so it's actually a couple days later. I had to take a break from this project and do some stuff inside. So this is kind of what we're working with here. As I flip the camera around, you can see that all the walls are currently up. So I got a different kind of bracing. I kind of worked with what I had. I shouldn't say all the walls are up. Actually, I still got to do the pallets in the front and then cut it for the door, and that's the whole shebang, and I'm not ready quite yet for that. But anyway, so this is what we got going on. Don't know if I'm going to stick with these boards. Obviously, I got to trim some of them, but this is what I got going on. I got some 90-degree braces that apparently I forget to put screws in. Yeah, that's pretty much running the length up and down. I got some more braces I'm going to do, metal braces for down here and some of the spots that I'm missing. Okay guys, so now we're to the point where I can actually cut out the door. So basic idea is you can kind of see where I got the splice there, up there. So the plan is leave that beam or whatever it is and just kind of make a door there, and that should be wide enough to get my lawnmower through, whatever else I need to get through. Well, it is literally a freaking box. So now we got to think outside the box to get inside the box. That's a lot of boxes. So yeah, I'm gonna set this up to where you guys can watch me literally cut a hole inside to get inside, and then we're gonna get into finishing up the framing for the door, actually making the door, and then once the door is completed, then we'll get to the roof and then progress. So now the plan is to frame up the sides here, clean up, got a bunch of sawdust in my mouth, clean up the sides around, make the actual border for the door nice. I figured this would actually be pretty wide enough for a lawnmower to get through, but I'm actually going to measure and do the right thing and measure. Then we can actually get into framing and have a little bit more fun with it. I really like how this turned out inside. I know it's probably looks a little sketchy to you guys, but trust me, other than this being rickety right now, this wall, these walls do not move. They don't flex, they don't do any of that. So very solid. I can literally do a pull-up from this bar here, so very sturdy. I definitely like the way this turned out so far. Probably gonna do a little different bracing in the future, but this at this point it's to get it going, I guess. But yeah, so like I said, next step is that. So now we have a hole. All right guys, I'll bring you back when I'm done. Okay guys, so in this next segment, I guess segment if you will, I just finished up the framing of the door. I know it doesn't look like much on the outside, and I'm sure it looks like trash, but you got a 2x4 on each side there and there, and then on the back side on the inside to help support this I have a 18,000 by 2 whatever thickness, I forgot what it is, basically whatever I had laying around. But now I can literally hang by this, and this will be really nice because that'll help support the door from all the weight of the door. But the door I'm not going to make that heavy. I want something that's, you know, easy to open, close, whatever. So kind of taking a pause on the door frame, door stuff right now, kind of losing light. I can actually do the door while it is a little darker out. So now I'm kind of stepping aside from this and getting to the roof. So kind of figuring out the pitch of the roof, basically what angle do I want. I believe I'm doing a 31-degree angle, which I have no idea how I picked that out. It's just one of the settings on the saw that I got over on my deck. So now I'm gonna get the roof skeleton stuff kind of assembled on the deck because it's flatter than this mess of a mess. And then I'm gonna take each piece up to the roof. Okay guys, so you ever done something that you know isn't exactly how the professionals would do, but it ended up working out anyway? That's kind of what happened here. No experience at all doing roof, like roofing, joist, this stuff. But somehow it worked out. I had no freaking idea. So, issue with pallets. So, pallets come in different sizes, different widths, generally around 4 feet. For these guys are 4 feet wide, give or take a few inches. That's where I ran into a lot of issues when setting the height of the joists and level and this and that. So is this 100% level? Probably not. But I can tell you this, it's close. It is close. So I'm not gonna lie, it might look sketchy to some, might look good to others. I'm pretty darn proud of it. And let me tell you this thing is not going anywhere. It is sturdy. Don't do this. I've hung from it, like literally like doing a pull-up kind of thing. I like to test the rigidity or strength of it, and it's not going anywhere. So now, here's the next step with this. So I got the basic skeleton. I want to strengthen it even more. And it's not just for, you know, if strong winds come through. It's more or less if snow, because I live in northern Illinois, snow and rain, like heavy rain, and just overall the life of the roof. Now, the roof material I chose, and I think I already explained it, is this plastic. It's like an ABS plastic sheet that is not permanent. That is going to be a temporary roof until I can get more stable, or not more stable, let's see, steel. Sorry, my brain is fried. So just like this project, this shed, I actually am looking at getting some free steel roof from a different shed where I work. A lot of this material came from where I work, and that is gonna be a godsend. That is gonna significantly improve the look of this thing when it's fully completed. But for the time being, we're gonna do this ABS plastic, and we're just gonna roll. All right, so welcome back to this segment of the video. So a lot has changed since the last segment. I ended up putting on the roof kind of quick because it was gonna rain the next day. It's like 2-3 weekends after the last segment, so kind of piecing it together as we go. So just kind of show you what I got going on. I ended up going with a different style roof. As you can tell, it's not that ABS white plastic sheet that I was talking about. It wasn't gonna work out. So I went to Menards and picked up some galvanized steel roof material. Now I'm sure I'll get comments saying, well, galvanized steel is not a good material for roof. Well, guess what? It's my shed. I don't care. I'm just kidding. This is definitely probably a temporary roof, more than anything, just to get it going, like I said. But this is kind of what I got going on. I'll show you on the other side too. Just kind of laid them up there, got them together where I wanted to anchor them down. And I wanted a slight overhang, as you can tell, over here on this side. Nothing too crazy on this side. I just wanted enough overhang, that way the water can drain or run off away from the shed. Now on the other side, I'm gonna leave it at full length. So you probably can't tell, I actually cut the panels down. There's some panel pieces right there. And then of course the roof is still kind of loose right now, and yeah. I do apologize, it's kind of windy, but I'll take today. It's right around 70 so degrees. Oh, there goes my my ladder. So kind of over here, sorry, moving you around. So over here, you were like, that doesn't look too good. Well, I'm gonna do some, not brackets, another board going across to kind of reinforce this. But what I'm kind of thinking is maybe like a log storage kind of ordeal, because I got all this going on right there, all that brush, and I kind of don't want to leave that out in the open. So cut it up and store it right there. So that's kind of what we got going on right now. Finishing up anchoring the roof, and what I got to do that are these really nice, I can't see it, really nice screws that have a sealing washer, so as it compresses down it becomes a watertight seal. So that's really, really key and important, because I really don't want water getting inside the shed. All right guys, so now I finished getting the roof bolted down, tied down, whatever you want to call it. I got the crown on top, bolted down, tied down, so the roof is completed. So now the next step is siding. So where I'm going to start is kind of flattening out or flushing all of this hanging down wood. I've already started cutting it. Never mind, it came off, so that's cool. Just making sure it's flat. This is gonna be the doorway, obviously. I got some boards sticking out, and then I'm gonna start taking some measurements and actually start to cut the siding. I'll actually get the siding pulled over here and get it staged for the next segment. So, yep. Cool. That's easier than cutting it, I'll tell you that. Sawdust don't go well together. Sawdust doesn't taste good. I don't need that much fiber in my life. Okay, so I'm pretty well content with the squareness, I guess if you want to call it that, of this door. So now, like I said, we're going to get to the siding. This was my first step right here, getting all this together, and I'll bring you guys back once I get the siding stacked up, ready to go up, and then we'll get to cutting it and actually installing it. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the next segment. So we're on the siding side of things. So obviously I didn't want this shed to look like a post-apocalyptic hobo village, I guess if you want to call it. Didn't want to piss off the neighbors, so wanted to actually somewhat make it look nice. So this is where a lot of the cost actually came into play. This shed is ending up being about 80% recycled material and 20% purchased material. So obviously the roof was purchased and the siding along with the screws. So in total, I'm about $600 into it, which sounds like a lot, but for the shed size that I'm getting, I looked it up at different various big box stores, and that's like a $6,000 shed. So huge savings on that. But like I said, I didn't want it to look like this. Now, some people might just leave it like this, and that's cool, that's fine, that's your own shed. But like I said, I don't want to make the neighbors too mad. It already has been like this for going on 3-4 weeks now. So yep, this is the plan right here. It's going to be my siding of choice, and then steel roof. I think it'll look pretty good. So okay guys, so now we're actually getting some panels on. This is the first panel on the shed. Anchored down, it's where it's gonna be. I still gotta figure out what I want to do as far as the corner post thingy-majigger uppers. Might do some corner pieces just like the galvanized steel, maybe kind of tie it all together. I haven't decided yet, but we're gonna ignore the corners for now. So as far as having a helping hand, I'm using a car jack, which a lot of people may not think to use, but that's going to actually help lift up the panel to where I want it in place, and then I can set some screws in, drop the jack down to where it's freestanding on the shed, and then finish screw it in place. So that's what I'm going to do right now, get it all set up, and then we're going to continue all the way around, except for the door area. We're going to work on the door here after the siding's done. So we'll get this set up. Sweet. All right. Get the jack as close as possible. That's about good. Ooh, that's sharp. Ouch. Get a little bit closer. Start jacking it up. Too far. Overlap where I need the jack a little bit further. There we go. Overlap where it needs to overlap. That's looking pretty good. Continue going up with the jack. Before anyone asks me, I am using outdoor screws. They're little baby screws, but they designed for water resistance. So this is good. I'm gonna go up here. First one set. Set a bit more. Set. That way I know I can actually hang. It's really coming together now. It doesn't look as bad, just as pallets. Now you can still leave it like that, which, you know, some people will do. That's all cool. I want a little more curb appeal, I guess you could say. From the street you can actually see this side of the shed, and then not just curb appeal, but also help block some wind and rain. So now we got both panels on, and it's looking pretty good, pretty even down top and bottom. So very happy with the way this is gonna look. I'll actually bring you guys out so you can see from the street, roughly from the street, what it's gonna look like. Not too far out, but that's a basic look at it right there. I'm gonna have to figure out something for the corners, obviously, and then the archway for the roof. So, okay guys, so now all the siding is on. You can see it actually turned out pretty decent. Zoom you out. Walk around. All four sides, or three sides, look like this. I still gotta button that area up, but that's nothing too crazy. And then under here, or over here, looks pretty good. So going to the door now, just kind of measuring out what I want to do. Not entirely sure what kind of door I want to do. So something about this shed, if you can tell, it's pretty far off the ground. I would say that's probably a good eight inches. So my thought was either build a ramp for it with a standard door that opens and closes like that, or incorporate both of them and make a door that can fold down into a ramp. And I think that's the route I'm gonna go. A door that can actually tilt down and become the ramp, and it's basically gonna kill two birds with one stone. So that's my thought. One of the biggest things that I'm learning with this project is patience. Now I know I'm not a doctor, so can't have too many patients, but I'm learning. I tend to try to rush things. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so this next segment we are progressing a little further with the shed. We are actually finally moving on to these corners here. There's lots of different ways you can go about doing this mess. It's kind of a big void, kind of a big pocket and a hole, if you will. But I was gonna originally do something similar to the roof peak metal galvanized steel look, but I don't think that would look too good. So kind of long story short, went to Menards, kind of walked around for a good hour, just kind of thinking of what I wanted to do, and I came upon these things. Now I didn't measure anything corner wise, you know, here to here, here to here, but I kind of figured, you know, maybe a railroad tie of sorts or something like that would work pretty decent there and look pretty good. Obviously pressure treated outdoors. So they had various sizes. They had 4x4s all the way up to freaking 3 foot wide, like actual legit railroad ties. And I'm like, that's too small and too big. So in the middle here, about in the middle, they had a 5x5 by 8 foot long post, pressure treated. So ended up getting 4 of those, and you can kind of see how nice it fits in there. Obviously have a couple of gaps, which not too worried about. It's gonna, whatever. But it does fill in the void a little better than what I wanted. So, or as good as I wanted. Now, in theory, I could have done this and then put the siding on all the way across, but kind of late in the game for that. So I'm gonna have another one of these latches over here, but for now, it just tilts down to this. Obviously don't crush my hand. I still working on the floor, but the main idea is to get the door done, then the upper area void done there too, and then get this actual ramp part done. And that's gonna be the tricky part. So I'm kind of debating on swapping out this, let's see if I can show you guys. This big boy here, I might actually swap this out for a 2x4. And the reason I say that is just for the sense that I'm trying to make a ramp out of this door. Hey guys, so just finished up the decking on the door. This is the back side where you drive up. I did a couple of 2x4s in there, actually cut it down to 2x4 length. So wanted to point out this is the trickiest part, or one of the trickiest parts with the door, because it's a tilt down ramp style. Obviously that's a pretty big gap. You can't just roll up there easily. So I wanted to do something like this, and this is, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm kind of proud of this. No blueprints, nothing, but folds up when done, go into storage and fold it down. Now I'm gonna have more of the sheets of plywood there, This is all pressure treated. I had to buy this because I kind of want this to last a long time and not really redo this. But yeah, definitely wanted to show you this. I'm gonna do on both sides. Now this is roughly the width of any lawn tractor tires, so there will be a gap there. I'm not gonna fill anything in there as far as a ramp, but you know, trying not to make the door too heavy, but also trying to make it functional and stuff like that. So pretty much almost done with the, finally almost done with the door. Once I get the door ramps done, then I will go to these, and that's like the biggest goal right there. And then the floor shouldn't take all that long. I say that now, and it's probably gonna take like 5-10 hours. So all right guys, I'll bring you back when we get to the next step. All right guys, so I know I'm probably gonna get doxxed for quality, I guess you could say. Don't harass me too much. I'm just kidding. First time ever doing real siding like this. I'm gonna put a beam in the middle, that way it'll secure all these plastic siding, roofing, whatever it is. I'll show you inside, or on the front side here, what's going on. So you can see I have the beams. Now that middle beam there, ooh, I just stepped on a nail. Fun. That's fun. All right guys. All right, back to the program. Oh, my foot hurts. So I gotta put a center beam in there, which might be a little tricky. I don't know exactly how I'm gonna do it just yet, but we'll get to that point. But going inside, you can see how it is. Now, like I said, quality is not the best as far as straight lines and stuff like that, but this is a shed. I don't plan on keeping this siding like this forever. I'm actually gonna do legit siding. This is more or less to get it ready for winter, so temporary. This is all temporary. The roof, probably gonna do something different too. I don't know yet, but anyway. So this is what I've been doing for the last hour. Cutting each individual piece, which is kind of not fun. Not gonna lie to you. Yeah, not fun. So now I got the front side to do, and then finally I can do the floor. So hopefully you guys can see me. I got the sun directly over my shoulder here. So this may look like a normal piece of couple boards, but I got one screw through here, and I know this is not exactly the right tool, but to get the pitch right for my panels, the little white panels, I made this guy, which is stupid easy. You set it to the angle of the pitch, or the pitch of the roof, or whatever, that angle, and it's tight to that, and then you can draw your line and cut it. So just wanted to show you guys this. This is a little tool that I made, and yeah, scrap wood. So like I said guys, get back to work. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so finally got the siding on. Like I said, do not harp on me too much. I am not a professional contractor person. This is first like construction project, I guess. So actually turned out okay. But you know, from a distance, okay, you know, the road is like 300-400 feet off behind my house, or in front of my house. So from the road, it'll actually look pretty decent. Once you get a little closer, obviously the blemishes come out, but that's where over time I will take care of, you know, stuff like the overlapping, and think of different sidings that I might do. I don't know exactly how far I want to go with all this. Going inside, much better. Much better. You used to get the rain coming in. It's kind of cool with the sun poking through. It turned to pink, purple. Anyway, used to get rain coming in here, obviously because it's wide open, and I had all my power tools in here, and yeah, but power tools are fine. All right guys, so getting ready to install the floor here. This is the white panel that was underneath my workstation, aka the ramp, but now is ready to be cut around the posts and stuff like that. So basically these are the little plywood planks that I was talking about. See if I can pry one up. These are what truckers use for their loads. But they will work just fine. Obviously they are pretty loose still, but once I sink all the screws in for the floor, it'll button all this up. Now there are gaps, I don't care because this will cover it, but this is what we got going on, and I'll bring you guys back once I get this done because I'm kind of running out of daylight and I want to show you guys the end result. But this is the final step for probably a long time. Do a 1 year review, build, update, if you will. But once I'm done with the floor here, that's pretty much it. I'll do a walk around, obviously, let you guys see it in all of its glory. But yeah, I'll bring you guys back when I get the floor installed. Hey guys, welcome back to the last segment. This is the final segment of the shed build here. This is completed. Now some things have changed. Sorry, it's a little chilly out. About mid-November. I can't speak right now. So some things have changed. Instead of doing a ramp style door, we went with a traditional door that opens, and then some leftover lumber for the ramp. Now I know they're not all cut to the same size, but whatever, I'm not worried about it. So just gonna do a quick walk around. That way you guys can see the completed build. Now there's still some trim and stuff I gotta do, but I'm not gonna show any of that. That's gonna be next spring kind of thing. So yeah, here we go. I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like and subscribe. That's going to help out my channel. This is a first kind of thing for Spark Gap Garage, but we need more space, and this is definitely one of the most challenging but most rewarding builds I've done. Kind of outside the normal, but built a shed with mainly recycled or repurposed material. So like I said, guys, I want to thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video.